Hey guys, Oblivion903 here once again, and this is part 10 of my Destiny playthrough. This mission is called the Sword of Crota. This is the next campaign mission on the moon. Going to get right into this one now. It's on normal difficulty, which recommends that you're level 7, which my character currently is. So I'm just going to dive right into this one. And I've got to say that since I got out of the beta missions, the game has really started to pick up a bit. The last mission that I did was probably the best that I've done so far. It seemed to have the sort of least amount of repetitiveness to it. It seemed to just progress all the way through rather than just rehashing the same sort of objectives all the time. Can't wait to get into this one, so I'm just going to leave you with this opening cutscene here.
Now Crota sleeps, but the sword does not. The warlocks believe the sword is in a chamber guarded by the swarm princes. If you face them and steal the sword, we can see that it is never wielded again.
The only way to
right, see, we are getting right into the start of the mission now. As you can see, still pretty much the same area that the last couple of missions have been in. That is probably one of my only sort of little hates about the game, is the fact that generally the locations, obviously it's still the moon, but the locations are just almost identical. They just use the same sort of sections of the map. It'd be good if they sort of didn't have the same map for each level. They sort of created new maps, but I suppose that would make the game a lot sort of bigger and a lot harder to sort of be more creative. But it sort of would give a bit more variety than rather using the same one map and just sort of changing the location of objectives. Because I suppose that all the areas of the map would be sort of usable in any mission. You could sort of explore parts of the map that aren't actually for the objectives, which obviously sort of gives it less sort of, I don't know, sort of not a unique feel to each mission. It's sort of just like the same area that you were just in. I don't know if that really makes much sense, but if you've watched any of the sort of videos prior, you sort of will recognise a lot of locations throughout each of the missions, which, like I say, can be a bit annoying. But apart from that, I sort of don't really have anything bad to say about this game. I've absolutely loved it from the start, and it is quite addictive. I sort of always want to do one more mission, but just because it's done its job right. I'm not even a massive, really, first-person shooter fan, but so there's just something about this game that really just grips me, and I'm really enjoying the playthrough, and I can't wait just to keep on going and get even further into this game. But anyway, enough about my little rant there. I'm going to get into the gameplay itself. Currently just trying to take out this group of enemies. Some of the harder enemies, some that haven't really been introduced to yet in the game, such as the Reaver Vandal. It's basically more just a tough version of the regular Vandal. And one but is quite annoying, really, and one that I'm not really that into fighting for that reason. But anyway, taking care of that, there's a couple of fairly easy enemies to take care of now. I think that's the last of them. Just going to grab any items that they've dropped and then move on to the next section of the mission. Right, just grab that loot there. I'm going to grab these helium coils. Right, now I'm going to move on. Got out of that little building there. It wasn't actually completely necessary to be in that building, but it's got me some loot, it got me some items, obviously the kills that I got gained experience, so I can't really complain about that. I'm going to summon my Sparrow now. Basically, there's no point walking. I might as well save some time and use the Sparrow. It's what it's there for. It's one of those things that you sort of forget to use every now and then. But we're at Hellmouth now, which was the location of the objective. As you can see, the objective's updated to find the Swarm Prince. So I'm just going to make my way through this section now, just sort of having a bit of fun with the terrain along the way. I can see a few things popping up on my motion tracker. There's a few enemies here which, although it isn't necessary to kill them. Like I said, the experience that I get from the kills never goes amiss. Obviously, the higher I can level up and the quicker I can level up, the better really. Just for the pure fact that some of the missions do require higher levels. And I don't want to reach those missions and be unable to do them because I've already experienced that one so far in this playthrough. I did the first mission on the moon and had to level up for a bit before I could continue that. So obviously if I sort of keep up with the level recommendations, it will make this walkthrough a little bit quicker for you guys. But anyway, it looks like there's a dropship there. It's dropping a load of enemies off. So now I'm going to take care of them. I don't know what enemies were dropped off, so it's going to be a nice little surprise. But hopefully nothing too bad. But yeah, the objective's updated now to face the Swarm Prince, so I imagine he's going to be somewhere in this section. Or he's going to pop up once I defeat the rest of these enemies. And I imagine he's going to be pretty hard. But I'm sure we'll get through it like we always do. Right, so I've taken out every enemy that I've seen so far. I don't really know what's happening now. I'm assuming more enemies are going to drop or appear. There we go. So by the look of it, it's going to be a few swarm of enemies. And then the objective's going to update. Or I'm going to have to face the Swarm Prince at some point. So I'm just going to continue taking these guys out. Get a couple of melee kills in there. It saves my ammo and I enjoy it because I find it rather entertaining to punch someone in the face. And not in real life though, don't worry about that. I'm not a violent person. In video games I find it quite entertaining. Please want to run away so you can have a headshot instead. Right, it looks like the Swarm Prince is decided to make an appearance. Oh no, it's not. It could be the Swarm Prince. He's something Prince. I didn't really catch that. Either way, he needs to die, so that's what I'm going to be up to next. There we go, wasn't hard at all. Used my supercharged move.
One down.
That's probably why it wasn't so hard. But one down now, and now we've got to track for Sword. That is the next objective. But I think there's still a couple of enemies here, so I'm going to take these guys out quickly so they don't follow me. Going to summon my vehicle again, just to make this bit a little bit faster. Right, looks like I've got 3 or 4 knights to take care of in a row. That's not the best thing in the world. I came across that quite a bit in my last mission. I managed to get through it fine, but they are still pretty tough enemies, and those cannons can cause a lot amount of pain. Just more annoyance. They can really take your health down really quickly. Now I did equip a new shotgun, which I was using the it was a fusion rifle, I believe it was called, in the last mission, which seemed to sort of do its job. So hopefully the shotgun has the same sort of success. It's quite a powerful item, this one. And it seemed to take out the knights quite quickly, so that's something that I'll keep in mind for the stronger enemies. And just use my assault rifle for the sort of groups and the sort of weaker enemies such as the dregs. But anyway, now that I've done that, I'm just going to continue on towards the next mission objective.
It's further below.
Right, I'm in the gatehouse now, entering the darkness zone, which tends to be once every level. Pretty much this will go on until the end of the level, I believe. And I'll explain it again. I've explained it in every video that it's been in. But if you haven't caught any of the previous parts of the campaign, it will sort of come in handy of explaining what the darkness zone actually means. And basically, it's sort of like, I don't know how to explain it really, sort of differently than what I normally do. But basically, if you die, you don't just respawn like you would in the normal parts of the level. Basically, if you die, you have to start the whole section again, which, when you're halfway through a massive fight, which has sort of several sort of rounds of swarms and hordes, that it can really cause much of annoyance, especially if you spend 10 minutes trying to take out a group and you die and you've got to start the whole section again. But I suppose it gives it a challenge and keeps things fresh and puts you on your toes a little bit. Rather than just sort of dying and just respawning when there's hard bits and sort of getting through it like that. It really sort of makes you try and play better than you could do. And I explain it as well every video pretty much, but the tactic that I use, I just call it like a divide and conquer. And basically when there's a big group of enemies, rather than just shooting into the group and taking a bit of damage off each and every one of them, it's much better to take out one guy at a time. And for that, because basically the reason for that is that if you get attacked by, say, a massive group of thralls, that it can really just destroy you very, very quickly and cause you to do the whole section again. But if you just sort of take them out one by one, then any of the enemies that do attack you, there's one less person to do the damage, and you sort of might survive a bit better. It's a tactic that I've pretty much used throughout, and I've had pretty much good success with it. There's been a few occasions where something's gone wrong, but for the most part it's worked pretty well. And a technique that I'll continue to use just throughout every video. There's taking these guys out here. Nothing too difficult. There was quite a large amount of thralls there, which thankfully didn't overwhelm me and destroy me. Basically, I managed to get out of that without taking too much harm. There's been a few instances in the series where I have just been overcome by massive amounts of enemies such as them. And there's not a great deal you can do. It's just one of those annoying things that you have to just deal with. I noticed there was possibly a wizard popped up. There he is there. But like I said, with the divide and conquer technique that I'm using, I'm going to try to take out the acolytes and everything else first. Because the wizard, if you haven't noticed, has a shield. And if you don't take him out quick enough, his shield will just recharge. And if you have to keep sort of being distracted by these guys, then you're just going to be wasting ammo on the shield. You want to waste as little ammo as you can defeating this guy. You want to basically just take him out. Basically in the first time that you're fighting, you want to just take him out there and then. It basically just makes things easier, because he is a tough enemy. Right, choose the shotgun there. That sort of gave me quite good success. It is a strong weapon, so it's always a good one to use for enemies such as that. But I've got the objective now just to claim the Sword of Crota, which I believe is this. So I've picked up the sword. I look like a pretty much a badass. There's not really a great deal else I can say. The objective's popped up now, kill the Swarm Princes. And let's have some fun. This looks powerful, looks like it's going to do a lot of damage, and I'm going to have some fun here. The only issue is that everything's got to be close range, and I can't really hide when I'm fighting these enemies. I've sort of got to take them head on. But hopefully that doesn't prove to be an issue. Absolutely kicking ass at the minute. My experience looks like it's going up quite a bit as well. I'm nearly leveled up, which is fantastic. Like I said, the annoying thing there, I've got to actually take damage to get to the enemy. It's not too bad if the sort of enemy comes to you, but these sort of guys are hiding behind the pillars trying to defend themselves, so you've sort of got to take damage to get to them. But nothing too bad at the minute. Right, taking out quite a lot of enemies. No Swarm Princes there show the faces so far, but I imagine it's going to want me to take out all of these guys first. Actually, one of them has just shown up there. But as you can see, because I can't sort of defend myself easily from this guy, I've got to be sort of within his range to do damage to him. It says sort of going to be quite difficult. I'm going to have to sort of keep hanging back a bit, because as you can see, he will absolutely just destroy me. He's not far off doing it, so I need to be really careful here. That's one of them taken care of. Unfortunately, I've got to go through that twice more. But looks like first I've got to take out some more of these guys, which is alright by me. I'm more than happy to do that because it's getting my experience up with very little effort. Right, there's another one there, I think. I want to take out that guy. Divide and conquer. I don't want him shooting at me while I'm trying to deal with this person here. As you can see, I've nearly been killed. Very close. Need to get out of harm's way as quickly as possible. There's a few acolytes and that kicking about. I want to take care of them so I'm not being shot at while I'm trying to fight this guy. Because he is one tough son of a bitch. I've got to say that. But I want to try to stay out of harm's way. There's still some acolytes kicking about. I believe that's what they are. But this guy's chasing me, so I sort of have to take care of him. I haven't got much room to move about. He's basically just on my tail all the time. But he's nearly taken care of now. That's the second one defeated. So I've still got one more, so in the meantime I'm going to try and take out all these enemies that are shooting at me. Oh, it looks like there's actually it's an acolyte. I thought that was the third one. Right, leveled up to level 8. That's absolutely fantastic. I believe the next mission is, it recommends it to be level 8, so that's good that I've got the level up there. Should make things a bit easier. There is another one of those guys there. The level up sort of was not showing me my health. It was sort of blocking that, so I didn't know how far I was of death there. I was actually pretty close, so thankfully I managed to get out of there. Right, I really need to get out of harm's way and quickly. God, I hate these guys. Really hate these guys. Right, hopefully my health regenerates quickly. Is it going to? I don't want to take him on unless I've got full health. Right, now it's time to fall back. Right, health regenerating quite quickly as well. So I can give this another shot. I did see another enemy with a gun trying to take me on, so I want to be careful of him. It's extra damage I don't need to take if I can help it. There we go, got rid of him. So now it's just me and the prince. There we go, taking care of him. Bit of a pain, but we managed to get through it, and that is the mission completed. So yeah, that wasn't a bad one actually. Also, like I said, now that I've got out the beta missions, they've started to get a lot more varied. For once, I haven't actually had to deploy my ghost to do its thing, like I have done pretty much every mission so far. So it's nice to start getting this variation. I think this game is really going to start picking up, and these next few levels are going to be sort of continuously better. It seems like it's really coming into its own. I'm really starting to enjoy this game. So that is the mission completed, guys. I'm just going to go through the upgrades and that I do. I've got an upgrade there for increased height. It made progression towards some other stuff as well. 105 kills, got a couple of awards, got a new helmet which is better than the one I've currently got, and got some blade shards, which is also fantastic. So I'm just going to click continue just to get out of this. Right, so that is the mission completed. Just before I go, I'm just going to quickly do these upgrades. Right, now I'm just going to have a quick look at my weapons. I've got a few higher sort of attack level weapons there, but I do prefer my auto rifle, so I'm not totally sure whether I want to go for them just yet. I'm quite happy with what I've got in terms of weaponry at the minute, but I'm going to equip this. As it's better than the ones I've got, I'm just going to dismantle these as well so they're not clogging up my inventory. Right, I might keep this one. It's got the strength bonus there, so that's always good. I'm going to get rid of this one. So that looks like my upgrades are pretty much done. So I'm just going to see what the next mission is now. Still continuing the moon. And I've got two options here. I have the Chamber of Night and I also have the Shrine of Oryx. So I'll be tackling one of them in the next part. I haven't decided which one yet. You have to wait and find out in part 11. So I'm going to conclude the video here, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really have. This game's really starting to get better with each mission that I do. And I can't wait to dive into the next one and get even further into this game. And hopefully you check out part 11 where I'll be doing that. And if you haven't, you can check out the rest of the videos as well. The links for other parts in the playlist will be in the description. And you can also check it out by checking out my channel page. And I will see you guys very, very soon in the next video. Until then, bye for now.